What's up, friends? Sorry, my lighting is really weird, but I'm finally have an office. Oh, so excited! No idea, I've been working so hard to get this office up and running. So I had to have a little bit more junk to go through, but obviously that's not what today's topic is about. Today is this week we had a meeting with the case manager for data, and everything is moving along so smoothly. Find me some wood to knock on, y'all, because this is the first time we've had such a smooth adoption process. Just so exciting. Our gotcha day is vastly approaching. I mean, super, super quick. It looks like it's going to be sometime in the beginning of April, which is freaking awesome. So I just wanted to update you guys on that because a lot of you guys have been following our adoption stories all the way back from when we were adopting 6 children to then adopting our little dude and the crazy journey we went through that way. And now being able to adopt his teenage sister is just a huge blessing. It's super, super exciting. I think one of the things that, I would want you guys to take away from this is that if you have watched our journey and knowing just what we went through, some of you guys that are really, really close to us, you just know how tough it was. And we never wanted to ever discourage anybody that has adoption on the heart, because here's the deal, like, God called us to do this. This wasn't something that me and my husband just set out to do for ourselves. And the journey was tough, is tough. But we do it because God has called us to look on the orphans. And so I think that's how we get it through. So sometimes I think when you guys are like, oh, you're super people, you're amazing, blah, blah, blah. We're like, no, we're not. We're normal people with normal thoughts, normal feelings. We all have our breaking points. We have our limits. There's days where we're just like, rah, but at the end of the day, God called us to do this, and He's filled our hearts with a lot of love and patience, and that's how we make it through one day at a time. And when we feel like we can't go on, we look to Jesus and ask Him for strength. We ask people to pray for us in that, and that's kind of where we're at. And so in this next chapter, I'm just calling on all my prayer warriors for our daughter, because as you know, for our son has been in, until we adopted him, had been in foster care since he was 7 months old. So his entire life. He's 8 now, guys. So his sister was there the entire time with him, right? So a year longer than him. And our son is almost 9, by the way. That gives you an idea of how long she's been in the system. So the word adoption, what does that mean? She has been told, I love you, several times. She has been told that she is going to be in her forever home several times. She has been through hell and back. And as an older child, when you experience these things countless times, when you think that you truly do have forever and are super happy, and then are told to pack your shit and you're moving out, you get jaded. So when she first moved in, I will say that, like, she was super excited. She had to give up a lot to move in with us because we have expectations in our home. And it wasn't like she was giving up a lot. It wasn't freedoms. It was just things that we needed that were just made very clear to keep our son safe, if that makes sense, and our younger children safe. And she was totally okay with that. She knew that coming in, and everything was going really smooth. But then, when we really were talking adoption and it was like a real thing for her, that became scary. And so just like anything in life, you go through a honeymoon period where everything is like rainbows and awesome, and then you go through like testing and like, do you really love me? Like, let me test these waters out. Like, are you gonna really be there? Like, how bad can I be, and will you still love me through it? And so we went through that period, and she's still amazing. guys, I just cannot tell you how amazing this child is. And so then we went through, like, I don't care if I'm adopted. Like, I don't care about anything. Rightfully so, like, defense mechanism, right? But over the weekend, we went through some trials and tribulations, and then seeing her case manager, and then having these final talks about the final steps, doing the file read, doing the negotiations with the state on what she will get, aka like making sure that her college is paid for, which is why we waited, because they wanted us to finalize her adoption in November. And I was like, guys, no, you need to give her some time. Like, we want to make sure that she still wants to do this. First thing, because it is her decision. She's over 14. She gets to decide. So we really want to make sure this is what she wants. We also want to make sure that she gets college paid for, because that is super important. I mean, college nowadays is not cheap. And so no matter what she wants to do, we want to set her up for success. And so we held it off till, legally, the laws have changed, but she still wouldn't fit into the time frame for the new law. But we wanted to wait till she was 16. And so there's all these little things. And so talking about this and her understand, this is like where my heart just like gets so big, guys. So her understanding this weekend that it was like, this is for real. Like, this is for real. Like, we ain't playing. We ain't going back. We ain't changing. Like, this is the farthest she's ever heard anybody go. Like, it was all just talk with other families. Yeah, maybe they send in their adoption packet, blah, blah, blah. But like, we're going to she realized that she has to sit down, and she gets to go through negotiations with us and sit down and if she wants to, she can be at the file read and things like that. And so that like sunk in for her. And so we didn't know what to expect. We didn't know what she was going to be feeling, what she was going to be thinking. And all of a sudden, like, I just know her so well, because me and her have a lot in common. And she just started being super goofy and teasing me and overly, like, she doesn't show affection like affection, but her type of affection is touching, messing with you, like teasing you, just like being super goofy. And oh my gosh, I cannot tell you how many times she beam dipped me and booty bumps me and was like teasing me and just like all these things. And so I knew in her heart, like, in this moment, there was some, like, not closure, but just like some peace had come over her. She was happy. There was, at this moment, there was no room for fear or the devil getting in or anything. Like, this was just a moment of, these people really love me. Like, I don't know what love is, but I think this is it. And there was just like, it was so cool to see. And I could tell that her case manager was looking at this going, okay. Because like, normally she does not like when we have the monthly visits, because she's just like, why are they here? I hate them. I hate everybody. And it's only then. But she was just in such a pretty freaking awesome mood. It was just really cool to see. And of course, me and Dad were just like, oh, what has gotten into her? Like, she was full of spunk. And if you would have seen her the days before, it was not that way. And so I think it was, that's just like those little blessings, the little things that warm our heart, that know that, life is not always going to be rainbows. Even on Facebook, guys, you only get to see the best of anybody. You don't get to see the daily grind. Nobody puts that stuff on Facebook. Nobody wants to see that stuff on Facebook. But we share as much as we can. We want to protect our children. We want to protect ourselves. We want to protect things like that. But I think it's important that we do share just some of the things, like some of the struggles, so that you guys really, like, when you go into adoption or anything, that you guys understand that you can't, like, I don't know how anybody who doesn't have some type of faith, how they do it. I'm just going to be real. I'm going to be real and raw. Like, you have to have a good support system. And here's the thing, even with a good support system, is if they've never been in an adoption or fostering, like, they can't give you advice. And here's the thing, you're not going to want their advice because it's not going to fit with the children that you have that come from care. It's not unless they're trauma trained, not unless they know TBRI, not unless they understand kids from a hard place and abuse. Like, so you love unless they go through all the training with you, which a lot of our friends did, right? But so you love them and they are there to support you when shit hits the fan and things get tough. But you have to have God. Like, you have to have that higher power just to like fall to your knees and be like, I can't do this. And you made me do this, and you want me to do this, and just tell me, so you've got to have that. So I don't know how people do it without faith. Like, if you guys can tell me, if you guys do not have faith and you're running this adoption thing, like, how the hell do you get through it? Because I just don't know. And then you got to have your people that are going through it that you can call and be like, I am not doing well connecting with my child. Talk me off my ledge. Like, because for the billionth time, X or Y or Z or something has happened. Help me. I'm struggling. I need you. I need Jesus, and I need you. And then they help you, and then you're like, oh yeah. Okay. But so yeah, like I just want to share. It's not all roses and peachy, but like this exact moment of going through the trenches, we finally have Rosie. We finally have Peachy, and it is super peachy cool. So I don't know what we're gonna do. Obviously, we celebrated our son's almost 3 years in the making, long, arduous adoption party that was right by his birthday. So we had a crazy house, we had bounce houses and whatever, and our church was amazing for letting us do that. I think I don't know what we'll do because obviously it's a different age level, a different comfort level, but we're gonna do something. I just don't know what it is because, she's different. She's different in a good way, but I just want to make sure that she knows that she's loved. Rita, I'm doing well today. Thank you for asking. I think that's it. If you guys do have questions about fostering and adopting, I can do my best to answer. Every state is different. We're one of the few states that is privatized. So it's super, super hard. I always recommend if you are wanting to get licensed, we are licensed through KCSL, Kansas Children's Service League, and I highly, highly, highly recommend them, like over any other place in the state. I'm for real on this. And we've definitely had our trials and tribulations with a lot of other agencies out there, and I'm telling you, there's a difference. So yeah, hey Brittany, I love you and I miss you, just so you know. Britt Ashley is my cousin, and I haven't seen her in a long time. I love you. And what's up, Kimberly? All right, guys, I'm gonna get off here because I have a curly-haired poot whose curly hair is looking pootiful. So we need to fix that. I'm getting a haircut today. And yes, it's changing again. So stay tuned. All right. I love you all. Thank you guys so much for your patience. And I know this video was long. 13 minutes is a long time to sit and watch and hear about adoption. But if it's your thing, it's your thing. If it's not, it's not. I understand. Love you for it. I would still love you if it wasn't your thing and children are not your thing. Like, I get it. Children are tough. There's other ways to help. So, all right, guys, you have a wonderful Wednesday. Whoop, whoop. Peace out.